Hello everybody and welcome back for some weekly VR news. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. It's an exciting week with a handful of new games dropping, including the highly anticipated Metro Awakening. Meta is giving us some really nice updates with Quest version 71, and it looks like Google's gearing up for their own XR headset. Now there are of course links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead to a specific topic, but before we jump in, this video is brought to you by my sponsor, Kiwi Design. Kiwi has accessories for all of your favorite headsets, and they finally started releasing some new products for the Quest 3. On screen, we have their brand new extra comfy Quest 3 Elite strap. I've been using head straps from Kiwi for years now, and they're hands down my favorite. There's a link to Kiwi down in the description, and don't forget to use discount code Mateo311 for 5% off and to help support my channel. Okay, so let's start things off like normal with the check-in, and that's what exactly have I been up to in the VR world. Well, I've been basically living in VR lately. There have been so many good games like Batman and Triangle Strategy and Metro coming up that I'm just living in my headset. Like, I don't have enough time to get through all of these games for you guys, but I'm really pushing myself and it's worth it. VR has been absolutely amazing lately. There's some good stuff on the way, guys. So I'll be covering all that, and that's it. Not gonna waste any more time. Let's get into this week's new releases. We have Dumb Ways Free for All. You and up to 5 of your friends will be engaging in a series of over 50 different minigames, all with the main objective of sabotaging one another and kicking them off the island. So if you're looking for a fun game to play with a bunch of friends, this might be the right experience for you. Now, sticking with some cuter themed games, we have Living Room. This is your very own wildlife sanctuary that you could build up in your own real life environment. It's a whimsical experience that's casual yet challenging, and will have plenty of digital pets roaming around your room. But if you're not into digital pets, how about a truly realistic digital village with wall town wonders? I originally played this at Gamescom, and it's from the same studio that gave us the gorgeous title Hubris, so I was really surprised to see them move on to a more casual mixed reality title. Now this team continues to be graphical wizards, as this is easily one of the best looking mixed reality experiences I've ever tried, and it was just really cool helping these tiny people build up a world throughout your real life environment. But if all of these titles so far have been too casual or a bit too kid friendly for you, let's move into the big one, Metro Awakening. Another title that I got the demo at Gamescom, and I walked away extremely impressed, as this post-apocalyptic first-person shooter is just dripping with creepy immersion. You'll be stalked by an array of different monstrous creatures. Most of the world itself is a threat, as it's radioactive, and you can't even trust the majority of humans you encounter. So the setting of Metro Awakening is already fantastic and ideal for VR, but the game is also filled with an arsenal of really cool weapons and some mechanics that are unique to VR. I'm really excited for this game, and we'll have a full review up in the near future. Now in update news, both Mannequin and Myst received some pretty big changes. That asymmetrical hide-and-seek shooter Mannequin just received a deathmatch mode. This is a free-for-all that puts everyone up against one another, and it doesn't matter if you're a mannequin or agent. They've also added a new pagoda map, plus custom game modifiers that allow you to change up many different elements. Now I covered Mannequin back when it originally released and thought it was a really fun, unique title, but my only concern was the lack of content and gameplay modes, so I'm glad to see this title is expanding. Now for PCVR players, Cyan just released the Myst 2.0, which is a major upgrade for the game's performance and overall visuals. This was mainly accomplished by upgrading to the latest version of the Unreal Engine, and now there's massive changes across the board, primarily starting with graphical and performance issues. But beyond that, things like HDR support and ray tracing has been improved, and there's a massive array of additional game fixes. Now this is currently only available on the Steam version, but will be making its way onto the Quest version in the near future. Now for those of you who love the VR mod scene, Team Beef is at it again, and they delivered Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil right in time for Halloween, sort of. As with all their current projects, Patreons receive early access. So if you just can't wait, you could buy yourself in, but in the near future, this mod will be available to everyone via side quest. But now let's move into some other software news, starting with Steamlink getting full hand tracking via the Quest, which is pretty damn impressive. Oddly enough, Valve continues to show support for other headsets, and in this case specifically the Meta Quest. Now Steam also allows you to set up profiles, so you could basically play any game with just hand tracking, but I will say, as cool as that is, it's definitely less than ideal. This is nonetheless a really cool addition, and it's great to see Steamlink continue to get better and better. And speaking of getting better and better, let's move on to those really awesome Meta Quest updates. For starters, it was recently discovered that Meta has increased the maximum frequency for their GPU. This is roughly 10% in their default mode and a 7% boost in the favored GPU mode. Now, the favored GPU mode allows developers to trade off some performance on the CPU and basically boost the GPU, which can be very beneficial in certain games. However, this high frequency cannot be sustained for too long. Eventually, in most cases, the chip will start to thermal throttle. That's why this is only available when dynamic resolution is enabled. So when the chip starts to get too hot, the resolution will lower, allowing it to cool. Now, this is definitely a really cool option, and we see how Meta is trying to squeak out every drop of performance they can from mobile hardware. Every little bit helps, as we're seeing in some of the new top tier releases. And finally, let's move into those updates we're getting from version 71. A major one will be a significant overhaul to the user interface. Not only will it look different and include both light and dark themes, but there'll be improvements to how the control bar and panels behave. There's also now a train travel mode, so if you want to use your headset while riding on a train to either sit back and watch movies, play games, or maybe just listen to some music, your headset can now function properly on a moving train. The MetaQuest Link app for PCVR support is now enabled by default, which is nice to just remove some unnecessary hurdles for the new users out there who want to try out PCVR. They've also added a new calendar integration feature, which functions with both Google and Outlook, helping Meta lean more into that productivity avenue that they want for the future. They also made it a lot easier to share video clips from inside the headset, including spatial or stereoscopic videos. And finally, there's a no-brainer update that we've been asking for quite some time, and that's a volume mixer. While the Quest has included multi-application support for quite some time, it's not always very functional when one application comes in screaming over the other. So now you could perfectly level out your game, background music, and something like a call from your friend. Now we just need Meta to give the content creators some better audio recording options. And that was today's video, brought to you by Thea, who's obviously skipping straight from Halloween to Christmas. And if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And as always, I'll see you guys on next time.